Hey guys, Ty here. Welcome back to another custom showcase. So you may be thinking, hey Ty, this is different. Because, well, it's a jump and not one railway. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be focusing on today. I'm really getting into modeling lately, big thanks to both friends and fellow model makers, the Tow Train and Ron Dog 248. I've been having a lot of fun doing this and I feel like I should show it off. So I'll start off with the one that has probably the least change, Gordon. So here is Gordon. Like I said, there really wasn't much change for this guy. The really thing that I only did was painting the coupling hook on both the engine itself and the tender, as well as painting black in the rings of the buffers there. So, and also the brake pipe. And on the engine itself, I painted the lamp irons into a matte black. And also, I did the inside of the windows into a yellow, as well as painting different eyebrows onto the face based off of Season 5. I plan to do more in the future, but for now it's complete. The only thing that has really changed for this model is the front pony truck, because on Season 3 and Season 5 model, which I was basing this model off of, the front pony truck is significantly smaller and the wheels far more close together. But like I said, for now, this is complete. The next model I'll be looking at is a Season 3 based Ben. Like Gordon, not much was changed for this model, but the things that I did change I think are relatively significant. For example, I repainted the face, giving it different eyebrows and a different sort of smile, even though it's really not that change, but you know, that's whatever. I also painted the underside of the running board because for the base model it's just black instead of this nice red that I decided to put it in. And I went over the model in a glossy finish, giving it this little sheen that you can sort of see that was a lot less present on the model to begin with. And the next model I'll be looking at is a Season 3 based diesel. So the first thing that I really changed, well actually I'll say this in chronological order here. The first thing that I changed for this model is I put it into a matte black. I added a little window wedge kind of thing on both sides of the windows here. Then I sprayed it down in the same glossy finish that I did for Ben. I also added some light onto the coupling rods, because if you look at the Season 3 model, or, well, just model in general, since only one was made for the show, you'll see that a little bit of white was added, probably from Season 2, but it did carry on to Season 3. I also took the brake pipes and flipped them upside down, because the reference I was using, which is the Season 3 ruler photos provided by Tom's Tank merch from last year, because it shows on both sides that the brake pipes are flipped. And really the big elephant in the room here is the face. I sculpted this face out of clay, baked it, and then painted it up. Honestly, this is probably the best sculpting that I've done for any of my modeling things. And this might be, I'd say, my second favorite model that I made, and my favorite model is coming up right now. So here is my Season 3 based duck. Like I said, this is probably my favorite model because, one, I probably spent the most time on this, and two, I feel like this is the best paint job that I've done for almost any custom. So first off, I took the face off the model and painted it in a granite gray color, painted fresh eyebrows and a new little smile in there. And then, for the model itself, I put it all into a primer, and I mixed two apple barrel greens into one, making this, I think, rather accurate Season 3 color. And separately, I made a new whistle, which you can see it's more poking out than the original Bachmann one, which was just molded into the front cab windows here. I made it out of some toothpicks and a small piece of balsa wood. I do think it turned out pretty good. I'm just going to move the camera here so you can get a better view at it. So I do feel like that is probably my favorite part of the whole model. And then finally, I painted up a fresh set of GWR lettering on both sides. I feel like this side turned out a lot better than the other side because it's more size accurate and it just looks a little neater than this side. I also painted on some fresh handrails, also from the apple barrel granite gray. And the running board was painted in a granite gray and white apple barrel mixture, turning out to be a pretty accurate coloring if we just kind of compare here. I do think that it's pretty similar. It matches up pretty well. And then, like I've done with almost every model here, I put it into a glossy finish, so it turned out less matte. I don't know what it is about this model. I just feel like it turned out the best. But the nice model is my first, and I don't feel like that can ever be discredited. And here is my first ever Bachmann Custom Season 3 based Thomas. So this, like every other model here, started out as a stock standard Bachmann Thomas, fresh out of the box. It didn't look as good as it could. So I started off, after looking at the Season 3 ruler photos like I mentioned before, I noticed that in the front there was this little block which was painted into a red and black on the actual model. So I thought, hey, that should be the first thing that I do for this. So I did. And I do think it turned out pretty good. It doesn't really conflict with anything, and it looks okay on the front profile here. I also painted up the face to make it look like a certain Season 3 face mask. And I think that turned out quite well. Next I took a lamp iron from a Bachmann James and cut off the original lamp, but I did preserve it, and I am going to plan to convert it into a lamp that could go onto these lamp irons here. And from there, that was just the end of it, along with the bottom being painted. But I thought I could do better, because instead of actually like painting the whole model up like it is now, I just kept the normal coloring. I did the new face, I did the new buffers as well, which these in the front are from a Bachmann Diesel, and the back from a Bachmann Edward, and painting the little median area down here black. So after I did all that, I thought, hey, let's go the extra mile, like I said. So I painted the whole model into a apple barrel outside gloss. So I painted the whole model into an apple barrel gloss tropical blue. And that, I think, matches the Season 3 Northwestern blue quite well. I also use the original, I suppose, jutting of the original lighting, because I could kind of see it underneath the original paint, and I did the lining from there. And of course the boiler lining was jutting out. If you own a Bachmann Thomas, you will know that this is the case. So the top lighting was a lot easier. And the most difficult part, I think, was probably the splasher lining here, because I used a small middle tip tool to paint that into the red that you see here. Well, to be fair, I did do that with all the lining here, along with the yellow lining up here. One thing that I was planning on doing, but that never came to fruition, was drilling out the cab windows here so it could be a open cab, but I don't think I'm going to do that ever, because I feel like this is quite good as is. And like I said, this was my first HO custom, full HO custom. So yeah, let's get another little shot of all of them together and we'll end the video. So yeah, this is my little roster of Season 3 and 5 based Bachmann HO customs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that this kind of inspired people to actually, get into Bachmann modeling if you haven't already. And I'll be seeing you all later. Farewell.